Hi, I'm Lisa. Welcome to the Harmonized Kitchen. I am so glad you've joined me today because we are going to be making 3 of my favorite breakfasts that only have 3 ingredients each. Well, with a little bit of spice and oil added in too for flavor and flair, but 3 main ingredients. And each one of them features sweet potatoes, which are one of my favorite foods. They're so nourishing, high in dietary fiber, and help maintain a balanced blood sugar. So what I've done is I have roasted a whole tray of these beautiful sweet potatoes. And I'm going to pull them out of the oven. And then we will make our 3 delicious breakfast dishes. So what I'm doing here is batch cooking with these beautiful sweet potatoes. And that means that I set aside about an hour of time to cook my food, and then I have breakfasts ready for the week ahead. And this can be really fun, so give batch cooking a try. These beautiful roasted sweet potatoes I just tossed with olive oil and salt before I roasted them. And I put them on my cookie sheet. And then I'm going to add some of them to this coconut cake batter, which is just coconut flour and shredded coconut. I'll add some sweet potatoes to this. The coconut is nice because it absorbs a lot of the moisture from the sweet potatoes. And then the rest I'll divide between my kasha, which is a toasted buckwheat crust for a sweet potato pie, and a sunflower sweet potato flatbread that also has cornmeal in it, and we'll grind up these sunflowers. So, before I go any further, I need to cook my kasha. The nice thing about kasha, or toasted buckwheat groats, is that they have been pre-cooked by toasting, so they cook up really quickly. I'm just going to put this on my stovetop and add water. So I'm turning my burner on high. And you want to cook kasha 2 to 1, 2 parts water to 1 part kasha, just like you would rice. I'll add a little salt to bring out the flavor, about a teaspoon. And then we'll let this cook away while we mix up the rest of our ingredients. So, here, once again, let's jump back to our sweet potato coconut cakes. We have our coconut flour, our shredded coconut, our roasted sweet potatoes, our 3 ingredients, and for a little flavor, I am going to add some cinnamon, about half a teaspoon if you have it on hand. Then we'll take a fork and mash everything together. And just keep mashing until you get the consistency that you want. If you find that your batter is a little bit dry, you can add some water. I like to keep water in my tea kettle while I'm cooking. So we'll just mix these together. And there you have it, your batter for your sweet potato coconut cakes. And then we'll turn to our cornmeal sunflower seed batter for our flatbread. So these sunflower seeds are really high in protein, they're warming, they're delicious, and they grind up really easily in a spice grinder or an espresso bean grinder. So I make whole grain flours. So I'm going to grind up my sunflower seeds. And about 3/4 of a cup of sunflower seeds fits inside the spice grinder. So I just put them in and grind them up. And as you can see, they get really soft really quickly. Now that they're all ground up, I'll just add them to my cornmeal. I have about a cup of cornmeal here. I'll add a little salt. And then, of course, my sweet potatoes. Once again, to my sunflower cornmeal batter, I'm going to add my roasted sweet potatoes. And the last third of my sweet potatoes I'll reserve to put on top of my kasha to make a delicious pie. So here I have my second batter. The nice thing about these sunflower seeds is that they have a lot of oils naturally in them, so you don't even need to add any oil to the batter. So, for my flatbread, I'm going to use a loaf pan. You can use anything you want, really. And I'll just grease it with a little olive oil. And for the coconut cakes, I'll use a glass baking dish. You could also use a cookie sheet. Whatever works is great. I'm going to take another look at my kasha, and it really increases in volume quite a bit. You can see it's almost filling this little pot. Here is our sunflower sweet potato flatbread, which we will just press into this loaf pan. And you can see the sweet potato skins are still visible in my flatbread. I really like that. Again, if you want to peel them or blend them after you roast, that's fine too. Beautiful, there it is, ready to go into the oven. And now, for our sweet potato cakes, I'm just going to take forkfuls and flatten them right onto my baking dish. Now, let's check on our kasha. It's ready to turn into pie crust. Smooth it out and top it with the rest of the roasted sweet potatoes. And again, this is delicious on its own or with a little bit of nut butter. And there I have a beautiful kasha sweet potato pie. We'll put these all in the oven, let them bake away, and then refrigerate them for the week ahead. Thanks so much for joining me on the Harmonized Kitchen. And remember, food is medicine. Learn to use it wisely. See you next time.